If you love having lots of stuff and think more is more and more is better, then maximalist interior design might be perfect for you. Maximalism is all about embracing bold colors, patterns, and layers to create a space that celebrates abundance. But it's not just about filling a room with stuff. It's about carefully choosing and arranging each item to create a curated and intentional look, just like any other interior design style. Hi everyone, it's Melody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will dive into maximalism and I'm going to cover its history, inspirations, advantages, drawbacks, and key components, and also the cultural influences that drive maximalist design, because personally I am very interested in and curious about how various styles sort of mirror values in society, like aspirations and in general the desire for self-expression. So let's dive into it. Okay, I want to start with explaining what maximalism is. Well, maximalism doesn't really have a tidy definition. At its core, maximalism is more than just a design style like minimalism that I explained in this video. It's more like a philosophy or a mindset that encourages us or welcomes all the richness and variety that life has to bring. It likes us to fill our spaces with things that make us happy and tickle our creativity. Like, we are encouraged to be imaginative and express ourselves freely. So in maximalism, there are no strict rules. Unlike minimalism that restrains, this one doesn't hold back. In maximalism, you can express yourself in a way that you like and enjoy a colorful, vibrant home. So in this style, you'll essentially find lots of layers of decorations and personal items that makes this space feel alive. Maximalist homes are always changing and growing because there's always space for more stuff. So you cannot just create a maximalist look overnight. The best maximalist homes take years to develop because they are made of items that are collected from different places like boutiques, online shops, travels, family heirlooms, and vintage finds. The core in maximalist home is basically all over the place, but it sort of tells a story as well. In maximalist design, paying close attention to little things is very important. Every nook and cranny is decorated with fancy moldings, carefully carved woodwork, hand-painted murals, and detailed trims that highlight skill and creativity. The most known hallmark of maximalist design is the color palette. In maximalist style, colors are used quite boldly, and it is to bring energy and personality to rooms. You will see vibrant shades like jewel tones, deep blues, and rich reds that add drama and liveliness to the room. Maximalist interiors also mix and match patterns in a very creative way. From upholstery to wallpaper to rugs, you will find intricate florals, geometric prints, bold stripes, and unique motifs. So this mix of patterns basically make the room feel rich and interesting with layers of visual excitement. Maximalist design is all about fancy and luxurious things like lavish furnishings, lots of ornate details, and posh materials that make you feel like you are in a palace. So you will find luxurious fabrics like velvet, silk, and fur, along with tactile surfaces such as marble, wood, and brass. So these elements all come together and make the room feel warm and welcoming with plenty of things to touch and explore. Then you will also see things like shiny chandeliers, soft velvet sofas, and fancy wallpaper, which make the room look really luxurious, classy, and sophisticated. Eclecticism also reigns supreme in maximalism, which sort of helps being creative and mixing things up, like different styles, periods, and influences. So instead of sticking to one style, you basically can mix old stuff with new stuff or traditional things with modern ones. It is like putting together a puzzle with pieces from different boxes. And this mix of style actually makes the room more interesting and unique, and also shows off your personal style and interest. For that matter, in maximalist rooms, you will find a variety of one-of-a-kind items that stand out, such as books, picture frames, and artworks, which all sort of add character and visual interest to the space. Even though we use the word maximalism more recently, the ideas and looks of maximalist style have been around for a long time. Maximalism has always been inspired by lots of different cultures, mixing together ideas from different traditions, arts, and time periods to make rooms feel really interesting and immersive. Maximalism is like a colorful tapestry of influences, be it ancient civilizations or modern cultures from around the world. One of the earliest versions of maximalism started way back in the 17th century during a time called the Baroque period in Europe, where maximalism manifested in the lavish and ornate designs, and people during this time loved fancy and detailed stuff. They used loads of gold, intricate design, and detailed decorations in everything from buildings to art to clothes. Baroque art was all about showing strong emotions and big events with dramatic scenes, contrast, dynamic composition, and lots of luxury details. Their fashion was super rich and luxurious too, with women wearing big poofy dresses and exaggerated sleeves, and men wearing fancy coats with lots of decorations. They used luxurious fabrics like silk and velvet, and added lots of extras like lace, pearls, feathers, and jewels to make things really stand out. There were the hallmarks of design at the time in architecture, art, and fashion, and basically set the stage for later sort of expression of maximalism. 1 century later, after the Baroque period, came the Rococo period in the 18th century, which was all about even more decorative and luxurious stuff, but with a sort of a softer touch compared to before. Rococo interiors were known for their pastel colors, fancy decorations, and designs that weren't perfectly balanced, which showed off the maximalist style of the time. During the Rococo period, art got more playful and light-hearted, but it was still very fancy. Like, women wear dresses with lots of ruffles and lace with pretty floral patterns and delicate embroidery. They also used fans and fancy hair ornament, which made the whole look feel elegant and refined. So both styles, known for being maximalist, flashy, and fancy, and celebrated the power and wealth of rich people, and also showed off the skill and talent of artists during that time. Then in the early 20th century, there was Art Deco, a style known for its emphasis on luxurious materials, bold and geometric shapes, bright colors, and ornate details. And since that period was sort of start of modernity with skyscrapers and machines, Art Deco became a style that reflected the excitement and modernness of the early 1920s to 1940s, which still continues to inspire us to this day. Their art and fashion were really modern and glamorous. Clothes were made of fancy fabrics like silk and velvet, which were really luxurious, with shiny details like sequins and beads. And their rooms also had metals, shiny furniture, exotic materials like ebony and ivory. Madeleine Castan, an iconic French decorator from 1940s, then furthered the maximalist style with her eclectic approach. She incorporated signature colors and patterns and added touch of tailoring to her designs. Then years after, in later part of 20th century, postmodernism came about. It played with old styles in fun ways. Postmodernism liked maximalist looks because they went against the usual modern rules and showed off lots of different ideas and styles and celebrated differences and mixing things up. Doesn't it sound familiar? I talked about postmodernism in my video about Gen Z style, which was sort of my take on their aesthetic. So I suggested, I think it's worth watching. But this brings us to modern maximalism, where maximalism is making its comeback. So, see, maximalist design often pays homage to these historical styles through the use of bold colors, patterns, and furnishings, plus intricate details and elaborate decorative motifs. Now, modern maximalism is a design style that mixes the boldness and richness of maximalist style with modern ideas and influences. I mean, maximalist rooms are like a storybook where people can share their own stories, experiences, and memories through furniture, art, and decoration they choose. It uses items from different places, like textiles from Morocco, tapestries from India, or objects from Africa and Asia, to create rooms that look eclectic, very personal, and lively. The most beautiful thing about maximalism is that you can create rooms that show off your personality and passion in a fun and eclectic way. It can make spaces feel exciting, happy, and full of energy. Supporters of maximalism say that it encourages more creativity and lets people make their spaces really unique and personal. But if it is not done right, maximalist design can be too much. If you are not a fan, you might say all the stuff in a maximalist room are overwhelming and make it really hard to relax, which is true. It might be overwhelming, especially for people who aren't used to it. The bright colors, bold patterns, and mix of different styles in a maximalist room can be a lot for the eyes to take in. Maximalist rooms also usually have lots of different furniture and decorations, which means more cleaning and organizing. So with so much stuff, keeping everything tidy can be harder and it takes more time and effort. Alright, maximalist design brings together lots of different things to create vibrant dynamics and lively spaces. It's about using bold colors, fancy patterns, luxurious furniture, and all sorts of decorations to show off a uniqueness and sophistication. It's like being super creative and having lots of stuff, so now go on and create a space that reflects who you are. But to make maximalist design work well, you need to think about how things fit together in terms of size, shape, and how they are arranged. Without this balance, maximalist rooms might feel a bit messy or things just don't go together. It is obvious that not everyone will dig maximalism, so it's important to think about what you like and what works for your life when you are picking out a style for your home. If you have enjoyed watching this video, share it with your friends. See you in the next one. Bye!